Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the sources so you get the crucial insights fast. Today we're tackling the IELTS, the International English Language Testing System. Specifically, we're digging into strategies for hitting those top scores, Band 8 or even higher.
Yeah, and that's a big goal for a lot of people listening.
Exactly. For so many of you, that score isn't just, a language grade, it's the actual key. The thing that unlocks doors, studying abroad, getting that job overseas, or immigration.
That's precisely our mission today. Looking at the sources, it's really clear. Getting a top band score isn't just about how good your English is overall.
Right.
It's about really mastering the test format, understanding exactly what examiners are looking for, the marking criteria, and using some pretty sophisticated strategies.
So we're aiming to pull out those essential nuggets, the stuff that maybe isn't obvious, to help you feel informed and hopefully genuinely confident on test day.
Exactly. Confident and prepared.
Okay, so let's break down this exam. IELTS checks 4 main skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. No surprises there.
Pretty standard.
But here's where it gets really interesting right off the bat. Understanding the difference between the two main test types: academic versus general training.
Ah, yes. Crucial distinction.
Because this choice changes things significantly, doesn't it? Especially for reading and writing.
It absolutely does. Academic is generally what you need if you're applying to university. Think higher education.
Okay.
General training, that's more often required for work, maybe vocational training, or for migration purposes.
And connecting that back, knowing which one you need, is step one, because it dictates how you prepare for 2 whole sections.
Precisely. The listening and speaking tests, they're the same for both. Identical.
But reading and writing,
Yeah.
completely different beasts depending on your path.
Totally. Academic reading gives you 3 long, dense texts, often from journals, academic books, that sort of thing. Pretty heavy stuff.
Right, and general training.
Much shorter texts, more focused on everyday situations. Things like navigating life in an English-speaking country, maybe reading job ads, understanding official notices, company policies, that kind of practical material.
So if you're shooting for that Band 8 plus mole, you're not just generally improving your English, you're really rehearsing a very specific performance tailored to either the academic or the general training stream.
That's a great way to put it. It's performance training.
Okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty of each skill, let's talk about foundational strategies, things that apply across the board.
Yeah, the bedrock stuff.
The sources we looked at really hammer home one point again and again for top bands. It's about moving beyond just sort of passively learning.
Exactly. The absolute #1 takeaway. Practice. But not just any practice. It has to be aggressive and strategic practice. Meaning every time you do a practice test, listening, reading, whatever it must be, under strict timed conditions, like the real thing.
Simulate the pressure.
You got it. You need to build stamina, not just skill. Reduce that mental load, that anxiety that hits you on test day. You need to know what 60 minutes for the reading section feels like when every single second counts.
And that practice isn't much use if you don't analyze it properly. Right. What really stood out from the sources is how high achievers shift their focus.
Tell me more.
They're not just counting right answers. They're laser focused on finding their specific weaknesses and, well, stamping them out.
Yes. Maybe your vocabulary is great, but you keep messing up prepositions. Or you ace the reading, but your writing tasked 2 essays are disorganized.
So how do you figure that out objectively? You can't really grade your own essay easily.
That's a key point. High-scoring candidates, the sources show, use the official band descriptors. The public criteria the examiners use, that's their checklist.
So you need to understand what fluency and coherence actually means at Band 8 compared to Band 7.
Absolutely. Band 8 might mean discussing complex topics smoothly, with minimal effort. Band 7 might allow for a bit more noticeable hesitation. If you're not getting feedback based on those specific descriptors from a teacher, qualified partner, or even carefully self-assessing, then your prep is basically unstructured. It's just guessing.
That's the efficiency angle. So for you listening, it means turning everyday English use into targeted test prep.
Right. Don't just passively watch a movie. Actively listen for different accents, maybe try to shadow some dialogue.
Or if you read an article, don't just read it. Try summarizing the author's opinion or attitude in 1 sentence. That's a reading skill.
It's about becoming your own toughest critic, but an objective one, during those practice runs.
Okay, let's dive deeper. Input skills first. Listening and reading. These are high stakes, need sharp focus, tight timing.
Definitely. Let's start with listening. Structure first. 4 parts, 40 questions total. It runs for about 30 minutes.
Plus that crucial extra time at the end.
Yes. Plus 10 minutes just for transferring your answers to the answer sheet. Easy to forget, but vital. Don't scribble on the question paper and run out of time to transfer.
And the big challenge, the one everyone knows.
You only hear each recording once, no repeats, miss it, and it's gone.
Okay, so strategy-wise, how do you handle that? The sources emphasize using the pauses.
Absolutely. You get short pauses before each section plays. You have to use that time to read the questions for the upcoming section.
Why? What does that do?
It helps you predict the context, the topic, but more importantly, it helps you anticipate the type of answer you're listening for. Is it a name, a number, a place, a specific detail? Knowing that focuses your listening like a laser.
And then there are the distractors. Examiners are tricky.
Oh, they are. This is a specific skill for higher bands. The sources show examiners deliberately include information that sounds plausible but is wrong.
Like the example you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, exactly. A speaker might say, well, I considered the 9 a.m. bus. No, too early. So I ended up taking the 10:30 train. If the question is, what transport did they take? That 9 a.m. bus is the distractor.
So you need to listen for words that signal a change of mind or correction. Hesitations, but actually instead.
Precisely. And don't forget accents. The recordings use various native English accents, British, Australian, American, etc. You need exposure. Practice listening to different ones.
Okay, crucial advice. What if you zone out for a second and miss an answer? What's the golden rule?
Move on immediately.
Right.
Don't panic. Don't dwell on it. If you try to figure out the missed answer, you'll likely miss the next one and maybe the one after that.
Just take a guess later.
Take a guess if you can. Maybe mark it lightly to check if you somehow have spare seconds at the very end. But your main priority is to refocus instantly on the next question. Triage is key.
Right. Moving to Reading. 60 minutes, 40 questions. Time pressure here feels even more intense, especially for academic.
It really is. Those 3 long, complex texts in the academic module. You simply cannot read every word carefully and expect to finish. It's impossible.
So the sources agree on the main strategy.
Yes, it's a 2-stage process. Skimming first, then scanning.
Okay, break that down. Skimming isn't just randomly looking at words, is it?
No, not at all. Effective skimming means reading the title, the introduction, the first sentence of each body paragraph, the topic sentence, and the conclusion.
The goal being?
To get the gist, to build a quick mental map of the text. Okay, this paragraph is about causes, this one's about effects, this one proposes solutions. You know roughly where different types of information are located.
And then you scan.
Exactly. You look at a specific question, identify the keywords, usually names, dates, numbers, technical terms. Then you use your mental map from skimming to go directly to the relevant paragraph and scan only for those keywords. Find them. Read the surrounding sentence carefully.
That saves a huge amount of time compared to reading everything linearly.
Massive amounts. Now, reading also tests those higher level skills, like understanding inference or the writer's attitude or purpose. That's trickier than just finding facts.
Do the sources suggest spending more time on those kinds of questions?
They do, generally.
Yeah.
Inference questions often require you to synthesize information from multiple sentences, not just locate one piece of data. They take more processing time, so strategically, you might budget a bit longer for them.
And vocabulary. If you hit a word you don't know.
Don't panic. Don't let it stop you dead. Try to guess the meaning from the surrounding context. Usually, you can get enough of a sense to answer the question. Keep the flow going.
Okay, we have to talk about the true-false not given questions. They trip up so many people. What's the core trap?
The trap is confusing false with not given. It seems simple, but it's tricky under pressure.
So false means?
False means the text explicitly states the opposite of the question statement. The information is there, but it contradicts the statement.
And not given?
Not given means the text simply doesn't mention that specific piece of information at all. Even if the statement seems logical or likely true in the real world, if the text doesn't confirm or deny it, it's not given. You have to be strict. Only use the information on the page.
All right, let's switch gears to the productive skills. Writing and speaking. This is where you actively create the high-scoring English.
Indeed. For the writing section, the golden rule is always plan your answer before you write. But for Band 8 plus Uller, that plan needs to be more sophisticated.
More than just intro body conclusion.
Definitely. You need to plan specifically for hitting the marking criteria. Task achievement, coherence, and cohesion. That means thinking about structure, maybe dedicating paragraphs to different aspects or viewpoints, ensuring you have a clear, arguable thesis statement, and even planning some key vocabulary or synonyms you want to use to link ideas smoothly, lexical chains.
Task 1 is different for academic and general training, as we said. What's the focus for each?
For academic task 1, you're describing a visual, a graph, chart, map, process diagram. The key is not just listing all the data points.
What then?
You need to identify and group the main trends, the most significant features, the key comparisons or changes, and crucially, start with an overview paragraph that summarizes the big picture before diving into details.
And for general training task 1, it's a letter, right?
Yes, writing a letter. Here, the absolute non-negotiable for high marks is getting the tone right. Is it formal, semi-formal, or informal? Your language, structure, opening, and closing must match the required tone perfectly.
Okay, then task 2 is the essay for both modules. Big points here.
Structure is vital, clear introduction with your thesis, well-supported body paragraphs with specific examples or evidence, and a logical conclusion, but also grammar and vocabulary.
Aim high. Use complex sentences.
Use a range of structures and vocabulary, yes. But, and this is critical, prioritize accuracy. It's better to use slightly simpler language correctly than to attempt very complex sentences and make lots of errors. Examiners value control over risky ambition that fails.
Good point. And timing.
Leave time at the end, at least 5 minutes. You must review and edit your work. Hunt specifically for common errors. Subject-verb agreement, tense consistency, articles, antha, punctuation. These small mistakes can really drag down your score unnecessarily.
Makes sense. Okay, let's touch speaking. Face-to-face interview, 11 to 14 minutes. Feels intense.
It can be, but it's also your chance to really showcase your natural English ability. The key criteria here are fluency and coherence.
What does that look like at Band 8?
It means speaking smoothly, at a natural pace, without too much hesitation or umming and ahing, even when discussing complex ideas. Band 8 speakers can connect ideas logically using linking words naturally. They might still make occasional small errors, but they can often self-correct smoothly without losing the flow.
Part 1 is the introduction, general questions about familiar topics. Strategy.
Elaborate. Don't give short, one-word answers. The examiner asks where you're from. Don't just say the city. Describe it a little, say what you like about it, maybe mention a recent change. Show you can develop a topic and link your sentences.
Then part 2, the cue card, or long turn. You get a topic and 1 minute to prepare.
Use that minute wisely. Don't try to write full sentences. Jot down keywords, maybe 4 or 5 main points you want to cover. Think about structure, perhaps past, present, future aspects of the topic. This helps ensure you speak for the full 1-2 minutes required and cover the prompts.
And part 3, the discussion part.
This is where it gets more abstract and analytical. The examiner will ask broader questions related to the Part 2 topic. This is your chance to really shine for Band 8.
Wow.
By showing you can handle abstract concepts, speculate, compare and contrast, give well-reasoned opinions with explanations and examples, maybe discuss hypothetical situations or future trends, really engage with the questions in depth.
Engagement seems important too, like body language.
Yes, eye contact, appearing confident, even if you're nervous inside, it helps. Be responsive. And importantly, if you don't understand a question, especially in Part 3 where they can be complex.
Don't just guess or ramble.
Absolutely not. The sources confirm. It's much better to politely ask the examiner to repeat the question or clarify a word, saying, sorry, could you please rephrase that, is perfectly fine and much better than giving an irrelevant answer.
Okay, so pulling all these threads together from the sources.
Yeah.
What's the final equation for hitting that high score?
Well, it really seems to boil down to a combination, doesn't it? You need solid English language skills, definitely. But that's not enough on its own.
Right.
It's that competence fused with very specific, structured knowledge of the test itself, knowing the formats, the timings, the question types, the marking criteria.
So to wrap it up for you, the listener, what's the central message?
I think it's this. Success in IELTS, especially at the higher bands, is fundamentally about knowing how to effectively use the English skills you have within the unique constraints and demands of this specific test.
It's applied skill under pressure.
Exactly. Don't just practice English. Practice the test. Analyze your mistakes ruthlessly based on the criteria. And keep simulating that test day pressure. Stay focused on improvement. Don't get discouraged by setbacks.
Okay, building on that strong emphasis in the sources on objective practice, analyzing weaknesses, getting feedback.
Yeah.
Here's something to think about. If getting that Band 8 or 9 truly hinges on relentless, structured simulation and pinpointing exactly where you're going wrong, maybe true success lies less in just knowing more and more English vocabulary or grammar rules,
No one.
and more in developing the ability to be your own toughest, most objective critic during those practice sessions. Really mastering the art of self-correction and sophisticated error analysis.
That's a fascinating thought. Is the ultimate skill not just the English, but the metacognitive skill of analyzing your own performance against the test demands?
Exactly. Something to mull over as you move from being just an English learner to becoming a high-scoring IELTS test master.